product-led SEO, this is a concept that you talk about a lot on LinkedIn and few execute it well. What does this really look like in practice?
So this again was part of the realization I had in getting hit by Panda and then moving over to SurveyMonkey and thinking about how to build things that weren't just keywords. So a lot of SEO is I want to build a keyword and then if someone gets there, they're going to get a piece of content that matches the keyword. And it doesn't really, continuing the thread on driving revenue, it doesn't necessarily drive revenue. It drove an eyeball, it drove an impression, it drove a page view. Product-led SEO is about building the widget that's the product that the person expects when they do a search. And in order to do this right, you really need to sit in the user's shoes, to be like that user and say, if I were doing a search, what would I expect? And what's the thing that I need to do? And I think there are very few companies that do it right because there's competing resources. There's not a lot of people like, yes, go build a product and get back to us in a year when you drive traffic. That's what building a product takes. When you've done that, you've also built a moat. So by the time your competitors notice, you're ahead of them. People conflate the idea of product-led SEO with programmatic SEO. They're not one and the same. Programmatic SEO is SEO, but you're doing it programmatically. You're just spinning up pages. So an example of bad programmatic SEO is anything around zip codes. Like there are built realtors or movers or medical websites where they just make a variation. I did it and I worked with a cannabis company. They just made a variation of everything they had on their page with a zip code. That's programmatic. Each page was programmatically created, but it wasn't of use. Now, there can be programmatic product-led SEO. Zillow is a really good example. They take in a database of every address in the United States and they programmatically build out a page, but it's also a product. So when I Google my own address and I want to know how much my house is worth, that's the product I see. I experience the product. I don't get a blog post that is AI written about my house and has AI created pictures. It's an asset. It's pulling in different programmatic things to make a product. So that's what it is. And really, when you think about SEO from that standpoint, this is something that a search user is looking for. So I'm building what a search user is looking for. So Zillow is something that a search user is looking for when they Google that. That's what they're expecting to Google. You can build lots of products, but if it's not made for a search user, it's not product-led SEO. Product-led SEO is there is a user looking for this experience. And a very common example of product-led SEO is anything e-commerce. Good e-commerce, you Google something and you land on the product page or land on the product category page. Bad e-commerce, not product-led SEO, is eBay. I think they still do this. So when you search things, you get a page that sort of relates to the thing you want to find. It's either like an eBay blog post or like a collection of bunch of auctions or buy it now stuff that may be that thing you want. And then you have to like search through it. That is not product-led SEO.